If all goes according to plan, then this video will be released the same day as Kendrick Lamar's 5th proper full-length studio album, Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers. As of writing, very little is known about the project, which would be Kendrick's first since 2017's Damn. When you get the chance, please also follow the Instagram if you haven't already. It would mean a lot. All of the high quality collage art you see on the thumbnails along with the other artwork goes on there. While you spend release date digesting what I'm sure is going to be a hefty, experimental double album full of thoughtful, unique bars and flows, why not take a moment to reflect with us about how Kendrick spent the first 2 years of the COVID-19 pandemic? Just to be clear, there will be no discussion, predictions, nor analysis of anything related to Mr. Morale, since it's being written ahead of its release. I will touch on some of my interpretations of the recently released The Heart Part 5 standalone song though. You can consider this more like a think piece. Remember those think pieces? Anyway, here's the deal. In 2021, Kendrick made a huge splash with his verse on Family Ties, a song by his cousin Baby Keem from the album The Melodic Blue. One line in particular struck me in a major way. I've been ducking the pandemic. I've been ducking the social gimmicks. I've been ducking the overnight activists. Yeah, I'm not trending topic, I'm a prophet. Many saw this as a thinly veiled response to the critiques he was receiving online for his apparent silence on the issue of police brutality throughout 2020. This is the issue about which we are going to spend a few minutes deliberating upon. Why did people expect the famously quiet Kendrick Lamar to break the fourth wall by commenting on something that was at the end of the day the issue of the week for so many of those so-called overnight activists? Should he have done so? Is it in any way meaningful that he didn't? I know, it's a charged topic for a release date so feverishly anticipated. What would you prefer? That we talk about how Kendrick Lamar has influenced contemporary hip-hop? Not on this channel, guys. This may shock some of you to hear, but we consider Kendrick Lamar to be an artist, capital A. Second to him being a human. Being an artist is his profession, lifestyle and conduit of creativity. His art is an extension of his self as refracted through the sonic prism of hip-hop music. In other words, he says what he intends, wishes and needs to say, not only in his lyrics but through his choices as an auteur, skits, samples, references, visuals. He uses every tool at his disposal to communicate his perspective. He performs a palatable version of his own consciousness, produced in collaboration with a number of sharp, inquisitive minds behind the scenes. This is how he has been arguably since he started working on To Pimp a Butterfly, if not earlier for sure. This is not meant to put Kendrick into a box as some sort of stoic, pretentious martyr, sacrificing his well-being in the name of art. In interviews, he's soft-spoken, laid-back, good-humoured and a gifted storyteller. By all accounts, he is easy to collaborate with, which is not something that can be said about most auteurs. He has funny interview clips, goofy jokes and as many bars about hedonistic pleasures as he does about high-minded concepts. His multifaceted nature is part of what makes him such a charismatic superstar in his field. Many people, perhaps younger, perhaps not entirely politically aware yet, were brought into a new level of social consciousness in the spring and summer months of 2020. I can sort of see why some of those people, be they well-intentioned hip-hop fans or not, might be wondering why someone who has been touted as the voice of a generation is not on camera leading a protest with a megaphone in one hand and a poster board in the other. At the very least, a Notes app screenshot posted to Twitter condemning the police state and praying for peace, right? If you're one of those people and you're watching this video, my genuine question to you is that what you really want? And if so, why? Sure, there are plenty of artists who are very active on social media, including when it comes to serious political issues, and one might expect artists of that cloth to use their blue-marked platforms to signal a boost to virtuous causes. Kendrick does not operate that way. His social media accounts are used for promotional purposes only, with very little personal flair. The nature of the politically aware, wealthy celebrity is inherently contradictory, and I think that's why people online are so animated with rage at any possible angle. A celebrity who says nothing about politics is considered to be inherently protective of the status quo. A celebrity who openly has political opinions is usually asked to keep their mouth shut, because most celebrities have insufferable opinions that tend to be communicated extremely poorly. I think this is why Kendrick says everything he needs to say in his music. What should he have tweeted the morning after that awful murder in May 2020 as Floyd's final minutes made the rounds online? Should he have shared a link to All Right? Should he have openly dedicated his thoughts and prayers? I'm sitting here typing this less than 24 hours following the sudden release of The Heart Part 5. Much like he did prior to Damn, Good Kid, Mad City and The Overly Dedicated, he has preceded an upcoming major project with what is likely to be a non-album single. In the past, this has served as a way for Kendrick to touch base with the fans who have been fiending for new music. It's a great way to promote the new album, while also sending out a nuclear intensity reminder to fans and the rap game that he is among the best to ever touch a mic. At the risk of sounding like an uncritical fan, the Heart Part 5 was everything I hoped it would be and more. Across 3 verses, Kendrick meditates solemnly on the manner in which violence is preserved as a linchpin of American culture. Without ever saying the word capitalism, he captures brilliantly the harrowing horror of radical atomization this system incentivizes. The song details depression, desperation, and the manner in which the American prison industrial complex creates, defines, and criminalizes black self-preservation. In an amazing narrative display, he concludes the last verse in the song appears to be from the perspective of the late Nipsey Hussle, whose visage is used via deepfake technology in the music video at this point in the song. Knowing Kendrick, I don't want to oversimplify his work by merely attributing this portion to Nipsey, because it isn't just about Nipsey, is it? It speaks to his greater point about how so often it is the most beautiful souls which are stolen as a result of cannibalistic capitalism and insatiable greed. In typical Kendrick fashion, however, it is far more empathetic than this subject might be in the hands of just about any other lyricist. Now that we are here, I ask you again, what did you want Kendrick to say in the summer of 2020? Let's just let the man communicate what he feels compelled to communicate in the manner befitting. He's not a professional Twitter user. He's not an actor in the Marvel Cinematic Multiverse. Trust me, we would not be better off if he had rushed out subpar material during the pandemic or bent to the whims of Anons who were in kindergarten when Section 80 came out. It is May 2020, and an actual end to the COVID pandemic is not really in sight. A drab, glum reality has almost fully set in, and nothing will ever be the same again. Will Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers be the soothing double LP of uplifting anthems that some of us seem to be expecting to receive? As of writing, no one really has a clue, but of the upper echelon of talented artists whom I hold the highest regard, Kendrick Lamar is the one who always feels the most timely and the most timeless. Whatever this new record is, I think it will be what we need right now, whether it sounds like it or not, and it will probably be what we continue to need for years to come too. Thank you as always for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel and let us know your thoughts on Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers below.